Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on Gold Edition Diaries. It has once again been a few weeks since I've been on here, which is a shame because it is a really good map and the series we've got going here is actually pretty good as well. So if you can remember as far back as the previous episode, everything is still set up as it was then, and I was actually selling the silage, which has now been done. We literally had two conveyors going at the same time. This one was loading up the lorry here, and then we were tipping it into a conveyor at the other end, and it was going straight into the anaerobic digester. So yes, our money is looking a lot healthier than it used to be, but that probably is going to be short-lived because we are about to buy, finally, some fields. It's something which I've been wanting to do ever since the beginning of this series and never actually got round to doing it. So we've been playing on the same 4 or 5 fields for the whole time. Yeah, you can see there, 14, 19, 12, 16 and 26, all on the same side of the map. Really boring doing it that way, so let's venture out and buy a field somewhere else. Let's go for something like field 30 or something, just nowhere near this yard, because I always go to the same place. So, we're in the Massey Ferguson, absolutely love this Massey Ferguson telehandler. Thinking about putting it onto Naveswell actually, because it is really good. Even if it is just a reskin, it's still a really good mod. Literally, just the fact that it has gears to me is a nice touch and a good feature. I think you can actually get a gear mod, so it applies it to a number of different tractors, but yeah, I'm quite happy with the way the others are at the moment. Anyway, with that out of the way, we need to find a different tractor. We should probably go over to the BGA and sort things out over there. Yep, I thought as much. It's exactly how I left it. A tip, basically. So we need to really sort this out. The conveyor can stay here because we're going to need it again. It's just, we need to fold it up at least, just to make it look a bit more presentable. So I've actually been looking for the damage mod. There is a damage mod for FS15, but it needs to be implemented into a map. So it's not just a case of just downloading it and it works. There was one for FS13 where you could do just that, but as far as I can see, it hasn't been carried over. There was one mod site which claimed to have it. I downloaded it and it just did not work at all. It was pretty rubbish. So yeah, being honest there, it didn't actually do anything. So yeah, I don't think there actually is a decent damage mod which you can just install. You have to implement it into the map. The one you can implement might actually be really decent, I don't know. But obviously that is for a mapper to install into the map. Right, so this tractor, which one is it? The 120, that can stay here I think. We'll keep it on it. That looks a bit neater. And here is our lorry. This doesn't really want to be here, and behind that is a tractor as well. So yes, in fact, let's get these two taken back to the main yard before we go and buy a field, and then we can go over to a field and probably, I don't know for sure, probably get a cultivator or a seed drill working on a worker to get it all going. We might even be able to buy 2 fields, who knows. I was going to put the front loader on the tractor, but then realised that that tractor doesn't have the mounting brackets for the other tractor. So that would have been a total waste of time. Although it would have been handy, bringing it back. This tractor's still following us. And yeah, I really, how many times can you say really? I really want to make this map work. I know it's a good map, and I've got the starting right. We started with a realistic amount of money and a realistic amount of machinery, which is one of the reasons why I kind of stopped doing episodes on it, because, you know, when you've only got a tiny bit of money all the time, you can't really buy any decent machinery. But now we've done the silage harvest, we've really benefited. There we go with the realies again. I've benefited the farm. I don't know what it is, I keep saying really. Really benefited the farm today doing this, so we should be able to buy some good fields, hopefully. So the lorry can just park in the yard somewhere here. Meanwhile, we'll head back up to the fields with the tractor which is following us, I think. That's probably the best one. Yeah, this is the only map which I actually use the Gold Edition tractors on, so I do want to use them. The lorry should be okay there. And yeah, I was going to download the Bale extension mod, but obviously that is pointless for this video because we're not going to be doing any baling. I'm always putting it off. I always say, let's download the extension mod because it's really good, and then I always forget to do it. I don't know why, but I have to do it. I will do it, trust me, for another episode on another map. Probably Naveswell. Right, that can stay there. And yeah, I think actually as well we should probably get a bigger seed drill. What do we have? Is it? I think we just have this. This and the other small one, the small Conveyor Mod. Yeah, that is another reason why we're so behind. It's a good drill, definitely a good drill, but just too small for the field we're about to do. So we will drive over to the shop first of all, after pressure washing this. Yeah, I'm one of those people who can't stand really dirty tractors, but then at the same time a really clean tractor also doesn't look great. So maybe if we leave it like that, obviously it's going to get dirty quicker again, but at least it looks a bit used. It's not like straight out the factory. Because when you wash FS machinery, it is like new again. There is no scratches, scrapes or dirt on them at all, which is a good thing, but not necessarily realistic, as machines do get used and things do get broken. Usually, unless you're a very good driver. Another thing which I don't think I mentioned before is the higher contrast on this map. The contrast is pretty high. It's very light and it just somehow feels more fun to play when it's not dark and gloomy. I think the Bjornholm map is quite dark. Obviously they've adjusted the lighting in Gold Edition, but they've definitely gone the right way. It's a lot better than it used to be. So I park in my usual parking space because there's so many to choose from. Let's go and buy no, not a cultivator, a drill. I want to buy a drill. I think we're just going to go with the wheat or barley crop again, just to begin with, and then eventually we'll be able to do more silaging. The silaging is really when we actually really need to get some money. Yep, I can see what's going to happen here. The obvious choice once again is this Varnestad Rapid A600S, which is a very overused drill. So maybe I should look in the region of getting some more mod seed drills, but for now we'll buy this. Maybe next time. At least we'll have a bigger seed drill. And yes, that is the right size for this tractor, I would say. This tractor is 149 horsepower, so we wouldn't want anything bigger. But as the fields on this map are so flat, it's not going to have any trouble with this. And it probably wouldn't have any trouble with the bigger ones, it's just I'm not going to do that. So let's go and fill this up, and then we'll go over to the other half of the map. Like I said before, probably field 30 or 32. We still have to be able to afford it, and we don't really want to be bankrupt again immediately, because that would just be boring. So yes, let's get an affordable but decent size field. I'm at that stage now where I'm just sort of begging Farming Simulator 17 to come out or get some news for it, because it does feel now that we've been on FS15 for a long time, and we have. October 14 it was actually. It is time, definitely, for a new version, so I cannot wait for it to come out. As we now know that there is actually going to be one, I am pretty much desperate for it. Really want to see what they come up with, but at the same time I don't want it to be rushed. And there we go. So yeah, I'd rather wait a bit longer and get something full of quality rather than something which is rushed at the last minute, which I'm sure won't happen because Giants have always been incredibly good when it comes to producing these games, these simulators. They are fantastic. Every single one has been. And as I've said before, the only reason why I didn't really play FS13 that much was because of studying, college work and stuff. But now that's all out of the way. FS15, that's why I've played so many hours. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I don't know how many hours I've actually played of FS15 because I don't have it on Steam. I've got the retail version. But I would imagine I have played between 2,000 and 3,000 hours, probably, in the time I've owned it. It might even be more, but it's a very long time, definitely. You might call me sad for that, but no, I've enjoyed every minute of it. So we're going to turn right here. I filled the drill up to the top because we might as well. We don't know how big the field is actually going to be. Just past field 34, which was quite a tempting field, but still, it was still very square. I wanted to go for quite a long one. Oh, look at this slow poke we're behind. What speed is it doing? About 15. I suppose we do have to slow down a bit just to go over here. But up here, if we turn left, we'll be able to get to our fields, or the field I want to buy at least. Wow, this is really slow. If I had the speed, I could overtake, but no point now. Field 30 is the first one we come to. That's just here. But looking at that, it looks like there might be pylons in it, unless it's in the next field along. Yep, that's fine. Kind of expecting that kind of figure. I think I'd have paid anything up to 75. So before we run on this too much, let's just go to the other end. And it's already a good seed bed for us, so that is really good. Although this is this doesn't actually require any cultivation anyway. It's a direct drill. So which side should we start on? Should we go from the left to right, or should we go from this side? I think we'll go from this side. And we should probably go with canola, I think. Wheat, barley or canola was the three I was going to go for. But as we don't really need to do any baling, I think we'll probably stick with this. And hopefully a worker will be able to get on this with this no problem at all. Really, it shouldn't mess up. Usually if something's going to mess it up, it's going to be a tree. And there is quite a lack of trees around this field, which is one of the reasons why it's so good. This is one of those maps where you want to use a worker. I have no pleasure at all in using a worker on any other maps, but this one just seems right. So once we're straightened out, I think we're pretty much on track, because it's the first, when you set it off for the first time, that's when it messes up. Going straightish, it'll be fine. So, with that working, we'll just make sure it turns around okay. It's missed a small little margin there, but that's nothing. It's just a margin of error. We'll go back to the yard in a minute and we'll see what else we can do. We might even come back up here with a sprayer or something. Do we have a sprayer? I don't even know if we had a sprayer. Yeah, that's working okay. Brilliant. So, with that one job kind of out of the way, let's see what else we can do. Oh, I like this fine specimen. Although I don't know if we can find a job for it today. We probably can't do, so we'll keep that switched off. Let's see what else there is. It's pretty much just harvesters. Oh yeah, we've got this. Kamaz. So, yeah, we should probably get a sprayer. I think a sprayer would be very fitting with the job we're doing now. We could use a fertilizer spreader, but as I haven't used a sprayer yet on this map, that would go down quite well. Just wondering, the self-propelled sprayer, because this is definitely a big enough map for it, how much does that cost? Obviously, if it's really expensive, then we can't buy it, but it's worth a go, if I can find it. Where's sprayers? There it is. I'm already clicked on it. Okay, 245. Okay, that's out of the question then. That is a shame. That would have been good. But that's okay, because we can still use a mounted one. I've lost sprays again. There it is. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good price. And we could have the extra capacity on the front as well. It just depends whether we need it. We probably don't. The thing is that this is going to need quite a big tractor, and a big tractor is something that we are lacking currently, because it's currently seed drilling. But even 150 horsepower isn't exactly high horsepower. So are there any other tractors we could buy? Again, I don't want to go over the top here. That's where I really mess up. Getting too many tractors in one go. Let's have a look. Yep, I don't think we have... We could always use Massey Ferguson. But I use Massey Ferguson quite a bit. Hard to say, really. The John Deere is good, but it power slides a lot. Interestingly. Yeah, I need a wider range of vehicles. We might go with the TheCoCe. Might do. It's 135 horsepower. Well, I won't dither over it too much, so yeah, we'll go with it. We will buy that. Let's go over to it. It's certainly a chunky tractor. That is as much money as I want to spend, because otherwise we're just going to be spending way too much. So, yes, that will do for now. We'll get this on the back. It's certainly a beefy tractor. I do like this case. It is very nice. It just somehow seems more powerful than what it claims to be. Also quite speedy. Okay, so here we are. I've actually forgotten where you refill this. I'm guessing it's over there. So we'll get it reversed in. Right, so that is filling up now. From here, get it filled to the top. It's actually not expensive at all. And let's go and do some spraying. We must remember to shut the door, otherwise we're going to have all the chemicals in the cab. Right, so there must be a shortcut. I always go this way, right down the bottom, but there must be a shortcut. Yes, there is. If we go pretty much the same way I came before with the lorry, we're going to cut across. Look at that, you can see the arm, the farmer's arm moving in the wing mirror. That's really good. Over the old rickety bridge. The amount of weight I've put over this thing, I don't know how it hasn't given way. We've put more than 44 tons over it at a time. It's incredible. It must actually be really well made, I think. It just looks rickety. Yeah, so I don't think it would collapse, unfortunately. It'd be good if it did, because it would be like you'd be pushing it to its limits, and if you overloaded it, a bridge in real life would collapse. But yeah, I don't think the physics are quite there yet for FS. I don't know. Might be possible. Actually, yeah, it would be, because Demolition Company. I'm going a bit too quick here. Yeah, Demolition Company, we had all that. We could jackhammer a building down and stuff. Pretty good. Crash into it with an excavator. I probably should play Demolition Company again. It's just quite an old game now. Going back to the sort of FS09 graphics. FS11 maybe. Right, so we are here already. Wow, that did not take long. I'm surprised. One thing we probably could have done is put a front weight on this tractor, because it wasn't really expecting to have me at the wheel. Pretty bad driving. Right, so there it is. It's probably almost finished already. Obviously we'll let it crack on. We won't get in the way too much. Yeah, I don't think you can see the indicator from in the cab. Probably after all this we find out it's already been done. But the texture does still look quite light, so maybe not. Okay, here goes. Let's do some spraying. This is when it really comes in handy having a long straight field when it comes to spraying, because you can just keep going and you don't waste much time turning around, and yeah, you don't really have much overlap either. I'm surprised how quickly that tractor is pulling that seed drill. It's funny, I really don't have a good judgment when it comes to tractors' horsepower and requirements, because I tend to put the really small tractors with low horsepower on really big machines, on really big plows and stuff, and then I go and put it on that thinking it's too big for it, and it just doesn't care about it at all. It's like nothing's on the back. That's where I lack the knowledge, I think. I do need to do some more research into that, because I'm sure over the past few videos a few people have been picking up on some incompatibility issues between the implements and tractors I've been using. Still, I've been doing this for over a year and a half now, and I haven't had too many complaints. Obviously I've had a few very abusive ones, but on the whole it's been pretty good and I love the support. I've positioned it like this and pretty much kept the steering wheel straight, and it has stayed a really good straight line there. Obviously when I started, this seed drill hadn't already gone past, so I was going flush with where it hadn't been yet. At the moment we're overlapping, but that's fine because we're still going to get the last bit in, hopefully, in one pass of the field, so it should be fine. When we get to the end here, I will just switch it off and we'll wait for it to finish, because otherwise we're going to be getting in its way, and I don't really want to spray where it hasn't been yet. So we'll just get the newspaper out and put our feet up. We should be okay here. Right, break time. Okay, so break time is over, officially. We had 2 or 3 minutes there. It was enough to eat a sandwich and read the newspaper, but anyway, the tractor is going to turn around and it's going to finish at the top end. So I've folded up the sprayer and we'll be able to go up there and hopefully finish when we get up to the top. And then after that we'll be able to take both machines back on Follow Me. Again, it's left a really small margin. It might decide to finish off. If it does, fantastic. If it doesn't, then that is fine. I just think it will do actually, because it looks like it does bend out a bit more over there. But luckily, we can get it all in. Yep, it is deciding to come back. That is good, because it means we won't have like a dead border. So what we'll do, if it might just stop, because you can see how much it's overlapping into the grass verge there. If it continues, which it looks like it's going to, we'll just pull back a bit, because the sprayer boom is actually overhanging, which means that is now going to stop at the far end, but that is okay. I just went back to go and get the bit it missed. Yeah, the field does slightly bend out at this top end. You don't notice that at first, but it does. so we've got just a tiny bit to do. And once we get down, I think it's halfway, that will be the field completed. Seems wasteful, but it gets the job done. And there we go. So let's get it folded up. We'll get the other tractor back up here, and we will have a good leisurely drive back to the main yard. So yeah, I still really enjoy the episodes on this map. It is a very good map and very well made. Yeah, ever since I reduced the amount of episodes I do on it, the more I love it. That's really weird, but it's true. Playing on it less made me love it more. And there we go, we've got Follow Me on. You can just about see the exhaust smoke, but that's it. There it is. So we're going to put these away, and that'll be another day on Gold Edition Diaries. Back to our rickety bridge. The other tractor's just crossing. Seems to have done that okay, fairly trouble free. And yeah, I think this is probably best over here. We'll stop the other tractor when it gets to where we were just then. Okay, that can stop there. And yeah, we'll just reverse into here. Perfect place for it. I do like these open fronted barns, they're very useful. Go there, switch the engine off and the beacons, and back over to our case. So hopefully you've enjoyed this instalment into Gold Edition Diaries. Yeah, we'll be doing another episode fairly soon, hopefully, in the coming weeks. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.